Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for The Last of Us Season 1, Episode 3. So, last episode, unfortunately, we lost Tess. She was a cool character, I liked her, I did not expect to lose her so soon, but it happened, and we have to all live with it. But we did learn a lot about the zombies in the last episode, where they can only hear you, they can't see you, seemingly. They seem to take a lot of bullets to take down, unless they just didn't have good aim and couldn't hit the head, I don't know. We still have to learn about that, but we learn they're all connected through, or they can be connected through these threads that travel underground and stuff like that, that will call them to you, which is pretty terrifying. We learn that they live from either a month or two, but then there's also some that have lived all the way up to like 20 years. So some die very quickly, some live a long time, but and we had a little blast to the past where we met Ibu Ratna, who basically saw this, realized it spreads, and realized Patient Zero was still out there, and was just like, "You just gotta bomb the city." So it's like, it's so messed up, but I get it. So crazy stuff. I'm looking forward to this episode. So let's get started, shall we? Here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now. Do we always start off right with the opening? I feel like sometimes we get a little bit and then we go into it, but we're getting it right away this time. What is this with me always getting something in my eye? Was it this show last time that I had freaking eyelashes in my eyes? Like crazy? Sorry, guys. It's really irritating. I just realized it was like a silhouette of like two people, and one looked like an adult, one looked like it could have been a kid at the end there, I believe. Not three people. Hence the loss of Tess. Is it just a monument to... Or is it a message? 10 miles west of Boston. Yeah, she was not happy about leaving Tess, but I mean, there wasn't much he can do. I mean, he's not happy about leaving Tess either. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, they chose to come out here. Alright, on the road again. Hmm. Because this ain't no damn TV show where we hit the first shot every time. Cumberland Farms. Nice. Mortal Kombat. Must suck to grow up in the like not know what it was like before, but just hear stories about it, but never be able to like experience it yourself because the world's freaking dead. I love their quippiness. I'm so worried about anyone going on their own though. Don't step on a uh-oh. What if there's a zombie down there? I'm so worried. God damn it. Why don't you say so? I'll never understand it. But why? Please say something. What if you get trapped down there? It looks like there was stairs at one point. You see like the stuff on the walls? Looks like a stairway that must have collapsed or something. I think. It looks like the frame of one. Smart to give herself something to stand on to get herself out in case she needs to. At least she did that. Kind of prep an escape route. Seems like a good choice. But not a good choice to not tell Joel that you're coming down here in the first place! Damn kids. Yep. Yup. Don't get near it. You know that they have, like, connection bullshit. That would suck to be one of the zombies that's like, you live for 20 years. Like, you're one of the zombies that can successfully live for 20 years, yet you're trapped like this for 20 years. Ugh. They're finding all the little secrets. Ugh. So gross. You know, like fuzz under your skin. Is that enough? Does that kill them? So it seems like it is a headshot to kill them. He just couldn't hit them very well, but while being chased in the last episode, which is fine. That makes sense that, you know, it's not going to be like Walking Dead where you just walk around insta headshotting everyone. I mean, I know they don't always, but it's a little secret toolkit. Oh, never mind. He's hiding his stuff under there. Oh, probably good to have a. I would have covered, like, I don't know, maybe he did and we just didn't see it, but I would have covered a little bit of, like, more dirt on it or whatever, so it didn't look like one clean, or, like, relatively clean square. Uh... Yeah. Crazy the things we take for granted. I love the perspective of Ellie not knowing, like, and experiencing a lot of these things. Hmm. That seems like something the government would do. Leave their failures out. Ah. Okay. That makes sense. Didn't Abu Ratna talk about it was at like some grain place or something that patient zero was found? Well, Abu Ratna didn't say it, but the guy that was talking to her, that whole scene. Yeah, I mean, monkeys wouldn't let it be spread so quickly. Hmm. It's gonna be something fucked up. Well, I'm curious what it is now, too. Oh, shit. Hmm. Ah, shit. Damn. That's messed up, man. So much of humanity, like, if the plague didn't take them out. So messed up. I sense a flashback. Wow. And now we're gonna get to see some of them too. That's messed up. That's messed up, show! Ah, someone who does not wish to evacuate. I know that voice. I would recognize that voice anywhere. Holy shit! I can't. It's the guy from God damn it, we're about to see him, and I'm not gonna remember the name. Parks and Rec. Fuck, I don't remember the actor's name or the character in Parks and Rec. But it's so him. It is so him. I know that voice too well. I've watched Parks and Rec several times. Shit, what was his name in Parks and Rec? I probably won't ever remember his name, his actor's name, because I'm not good with actor names. Holy shit. Could this be one of the guys? They mentioned, Bill and Joe or something like that? Could this be one of them? Could he still be alive? Because this is a flashback. Yeah! Holy shit. This is the Cumberland Farms we just saw, just not as broken down. That's fucking awesome. Just stocking up on everything you could need. Oh. Power stations go out. Natural gas plant. Hmm. Get you some drink. This is the part of the apocalypse I would like. It's just going around and looting. Obviously, I don't want to deal with the zombies. But I'd love to just go around looting to survive. I don't know. Damn. Oh, he has an electric fence going? Is that his? Protecting his place from... Yeah. He's got a whole compound set up. I'm still trying to think of what his name is. Growing plants or veggies and stuff. He's got chickens. Do some hunting. Although, actually, that might have been a pig. Does he have pigs? No, that's definitely not a pig meat. Oh shit. Got himself a zombie, I think. Oh no, that... Oh, yeah, that is one. Jesus! Wow. Very effective. Man. He's got his own compound. It's not just one house either. It's like the town 4 years later. Okay. Wild. He's using his boat as like a trailer to carry things. I didn't notice that before. That's why he took like the seat out. We saw him like toss the seat out. Because it's just like... Uh-oh. Man, I want him to live. I hope he's alive. Fucking survivor like this. Oh, shit. He heard the alert. Then he goes out. Oh, oh shit. Hmm. Damn. You gonna let him out? I think he's gonna get a rope or something, or a ladder. Could this be Bill and Joe, or whatever the names were? I apologize. I know Bill was one, I can't remember the other one. Could this be the two of them? Ah, he has a thing to check. Is it Ron? Is that his name in Parks and Rec? Bill and Frank! That's what it was. This is them, isn't it? This must be Bill. Sorry, not Joe. Frank. I knew it was another. Hmm. I mean, we know they end up together, right? Bill and Frank. We talked about them, so he must let them stay. Still a shower, a working shower, and everything too. That's so nice. I wonder where his water comes from. A well? Because he's not worried about water supply, right? Or it'd be like, gotta take a fast shower, right? So either he has a well, or somehow he's tapped into, I guess, like a small town like this. They probably have wells. They're probably not tapped into the main like city line or anything for water. Ugh. So on edge. Probably the best this guy's eaten. This is 4 years later, right? And this guy lived, so probably best he's eaten since the apocalypse. This guy's like, give me that. Hmm. Is this like a... Not to stereotype someone who enjoys matching their tea with... I'm sorry, wine with their food. But do they end up a couple? Nothing wrong with that. You know, it's funny, it didn't dawn on me, they might actually. The one thing I did know was I heard from my cousin that there was like a big uproar about a gay couple or something like that in the show. So maybe it's them. Damn. I wish my memory wasn't so bad. Uh, Just making himself at home. I can't remember what Joel said about Bill and Frank. I said, are Bill and Frank nice? And he said, I thought he said Bill is. But Frank seems pretty nice. I mean, they both seem nice. Bill seems more of like a hard ass. Uh, does it mean something to him? Hmm. Really interesting character because he seemed like this like fully like capable hard ass, but then when it comes to like interacting with Frank, he's, you know, seems like he's a little bit of like antisocial, introverted. By the way, I've also heard that this relationship is either talked about, either hinted at or talked about in the game too. So for all the naysayers that are like, why do they always have to put a gay couple in TV shows? It's canon, bitches. As far as I know, I could be wrong. I heard that from a person who heard that from someone else, so I haven't actually played the games. All right. Some would call this fate that he stumbled into this guy's life, who was stuck here for 4 years alone. Bill. Bill and Frank. I wonder if I can go back after this episode, after we finish watching this, and find the part where they say which one is the nice one. I'm really curious now. And really, they both seem nice. But this was 16 years prior to present time, so maybe shit changes. Just a couple of dudes being dudes. I'm just kidding. Guess you don't have to worry about pregnancy in the apocalypse. He's just a whore for room and lodging. Not for lunch. I wonder if Bill is the nice one and Frank isn't. What if Frank, like, saw... What if Frank isn't what he seems? What if he could tell what Bill was? That he was gay, you know? And then use that as an opportunity to stay here by being this way. I miss that. How... Now they are. Did it say 3 years later? So is this 7 years after the apocalypse? Hmm. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, they got friends. Ah. Who's the other person? Is it Tess or is it the person before? Oh, it is Tess, okay. She looks so different when her face isn't all, fucked up from being punched. Hmm. Resource management. He likes the sound of that, right? I mean, you can make jokes at what he was all you want, but he's thriving in the apocalypse, you know? Hmm. Hmm. He survived this long, eh? I hope we're not building him up to find out he dies in the present. 3 years later, okay. 2013. So, 2023 is present time, right? 20 years later, Boston 2023, I have written down. So, this is the midway point, right? 2013 would be 10 years after it happened and 10 years before the present. Strawberries? Oh no. Gave up a gun, though. That could be a gun they needed. $10 and never having something like that. I've never really known how you, like, replant. I've always wished to, like, learn it, right? Like, how do you get more, like, you obviously can get more seeds from the strawberries you grow, right? But I never even know how to do that shit. I've always wanted to be more, like, not survivalist in the way of, like, oh, the world's gonna end or whatever, but just I've always wanted to be more handsy because I'm not very handsy. There's a lot of things that I don't know that would be needed to survive in a situation like this that I wish I did know, right? I just feel like it'd be cool to. Some of that resource management they talked about. You don't want to be banging on the strawberries. Uh-oh. Raiders are going to come in the night. Which gun, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a gun that he thinks should be there, and it's not, right? And then he's not going to have it. Jesus. Jesus. That is some defenses. Bill wasn't in bed. Where is he? Was he ready for this? They have like natural gas lines connected out there. Oh, is that Bill? Damn. Shit, that's not good. Come on, I want him to live! There's still 10 years. Damn Raiders. Does this guy know medicine stuff? Damn. Could that be what... Is it Frank that he said was nice? They still call it Bill and Frank's, but Bill died? Or did he just pass out? He could have just passed out, maybe. And he cleaned him up. Oh, he's in a wheelchair. He did live. Yeah, paralyzed from it. Damn. Yep, now we're... Oh, wait, no! That's Frank in the wheelchair. Damn. That's my bad. Just getting old, I guess. Damn. I mean... Despite the apocalypse, it seems like they had a pretty good life, though. They're old. Old as fuck. They aged a lot in 10 years. Jesus. So that wasn't him dying. That was him passing out from the bullet wound and the pain. Damn it, medicine and everything. I wonder if these are some of the pills that they were getting that Joel was peddling. Remember the 10 years ago part where Bill was saying that, like, I'm getting older than you faster? And now look at Frank. That's sad. It's like I feel bad, but I also like it's also beautiful too because this is also part of love, right? Is being there to take care of each other when you get older. What did he do? What? What do you mean? What are you saying? Does I mean he can't just know, right? Or does he just not want to live anymore? Oh, he has cancer? Is that what it is? That sucks. I made up my mind, so yeah, it's not that he knows he's gonna die, it's that he wants to die. Shit. Oh, man. Poor Bill and Frank. He wanted to fix that up, right? Oh, get married. I mean, it's both sad and beautiful. Yeah, I mean, it's a hard thing, right? is it selfish to of Bill to want Frank to live? Is it selfish of Frank to want to die and leave Bill alone? You know, like it's both could be true depending on your outlook, depending on what you think. So I wonder if it's hmm. I'm so focused on that line of like where they met. I'm so focused on that line where it was like Bill and Frank's and it was like, well, Bill is. Is it does Joel know that Frank is dead? Assuming it was Bill is, I'm gonna like I said, I want to go back to that line. I really regret not paying attention more to that line because I really did not expect to get all of this, but this has been awesome. I've been loving this episode. It's really cool, like getting to know these characters, and hopefully after seeing all of this, Bill is still going to be alive, and then we're going to have all this awesome build up for his character. We're going to know his whole story from Apocalypse to now. We even briefly know what he was like before the Apocalypse, right? So it's crazy that he's managed to keep his little compound here for 20 years. He's done better than some of the QZ zones, you know? Like, Baltimore QZ, like, came and fell in the time that he's been here. Who knows how many other QZ zones have come and gone. Oh, that's the meal. That's the same meal from when they met. The first meal he ever made him is also going to be the last meal. Did he already put the stuff in the drink? Maybe it was just too dark to show us. Or just not relevant. It's just we know he did, or assume he did. Or is this the one, maybe? I hope he's not planning on going with him. I hope it's not like already in that bottle or something. I feel like something's about to get pretty emotional. Okay, there it is. Man, that's so much. That's gotta be like well over the amount to overdose, right? Man, that was so much powder to put in that drink for it to still be like that low in the glass. I feel like it should have. Shit, man. All right. I'm actually kind of glad they didn't do the... Oh, fuck. Damn it. Damn. I was literally about to say something that is complete opposite of what just happened. I'll talk about it in a few. I wonder if Joel even knows then. In a way. I mean... I wonder how long it takes. I don't really know much about... Like, if you were to ingest that many pills. I wonder how long they have. Because obviously it takes time to, like... actually get into your system from your stomach, I imagine. Well, damn, are we gonna meet both these characters and both of them are gonna be dead? Hmm. It's still running, huh? The power is running enough for that to work, right? So is someone keeping it going, or has it just kept going? I don't know when... Like, was it literally today that they did this? Or how long ago did they... Yeah, seems like he's expecting someone to be there. So I don't think Joel knows yet. Yeah, he doesn't know yet. Okay. It must have happened recently, too. That sucks. Still got the 2 drinks there. Okay, so the food has, like, it's all dust covered. So it wasn't, like, the day before, right? Is that... Hmm. Damn. truck key? Is it still running? Damn. Damn. No. Damn. This is so well done. Shit, man. Test safe. Damn. Yep. Test safe, yep. Joel, you've lost so much, man. Got themselves a truck in the shed, and he even covered up the boat again when he was done hitching with it. Oh, the truck he's been wanting the whole time, right? Assuming it still runs. Oh, damn. Alright. He has a purpose. He kind of embraced the purpose, right? Alright. Team Save the Brother, Save the World. Still get a good amount of guns. Look at them all. I wonder if that's the 80s music we heard at the end of episode 1, it would have been, right? Maybe that was when they killed themselves, and so then that song played in episode 1, kind of giving us a little bit of a timeline, which is pretty cool. If that is the case. I mean, they also gave us a date, too. It was August 29th, and we're in September right now, right? So... Oh. You broke it. I like the detail of, like, everything covered in dust. Oh, shit. What does the note say underneath it? Is this the same gun that he grabbed? She took a gun. And she didn't tell him. Deodorant. She ever rode in a vehicle before? What's a seatbelt? Man, that'd be crazy. She has to have seen vehicles go by in QZ zones. She's just never really been in one, right? Because they have vehicles coming in and out all the time. Well, they must have cassette players, because she knows how that works. Man. I wonder how much, like, how long that generator can run. Like, I wonder if they can just come back here, right? They have, like, a little, like, safe spot. Assuming people, I mean, if no one's there to defend it, maybe raiders will eventually. The open window. God damn. And obviously we're not going to see them because who knows what their body conditions are at this point. Oh, that was a really good episode, guys. That was really good. That is it for episode 3. Yeah, I mean, props to the show for spending so much time on a couple characters and made me care about them so much to end, like, to have them just be dead in the present when our characters, like, make it back here, right? but it left a profound impact on Joel, which I think might have, Joel was kind of against this whole try to save the world thing, but I actually think Bill's letter saying, like, you and I have a purpose, and be damned if anyone stands in our way, and stuff like that, and I think maybe those words got to Joel, and I'm glad, because I've been waiting for what makes Joel change, because I figured there was going to be a point where Joel kind of embraces the idea of trying to get her somewhere where maybe they can do something with her immunity and all that, but I wasn't sure if I was going to like the turn, because whenever you have someone so adamant against doing something, I feel like you have to have a really good reason for them to turn and change what they're adamant about not doing, or else it kind of devalues how adamant they were in the first place, right? It's like, okay, well, if you're going to turn on a dime so quickly, then you didn't really care all that much about what you were, Anyway, basically, I'm glad we spent so much time learning about Bill and Frank, because, obviously we knew they met several times. Like, we only saw them have dinner once, but we know they met several times. I imagine that's where they got, like, the pills from, because we saw Joel moving pills in the beginning of the show. So, and obviously I highly doubt they just had, like, maybe he had medicine saved up or something, but I don't know, I definitely feel like they probably traded a lot over the years and everything, so they had a relationship built up, and, even Bill called him a friend in the end, someone who wasn't really one to call anyone a friend, and I'm sure Joel felt the same way. They were very similar in their distrust and dislike of other people, seemingly, so, but yeah, one thing I wanted to talk about was it sounded like a lot of people had an outrage about, like, a gay couple being in the show, but I don't care. It didn't, in my mind, it didn't feel forced to me. Like, it didn't feel like they shoved these characters into the story just for them to be a gay couple, because they served much more of a purpose than just being a gay couple. Like, if you think about it, Bill, prior to meeting Frank, might not have ever worked with Tess and Joel, right? And if they never worked with Tess and Joel, and if Bill never changed the way that he did thanks to Frank, it's very possible that Bill would have never left a letter like that for Joel, and Joel may have never found his purpose, and I do hope this all amounts to something with Joel's mission now to get Ellie somewhere where maybe they can work with her immunity and everything. But yeah, it feels like it's all connected and it all serves a purpose, and it definitely. I never played the games, so I don't know what these scenes were like in the games, or these characters, or, I don't know if it was only hinted that they were gay, or if it was very proven that they were gay, or maybe it never really mentioned it at all, and the person who told me that it was in the games was mistaken. But even if it wasn't in the games, like I said, I liked the characters enough, I liked the story enough that, it doesn't bother me, right? And also, there are millions of other shows that do way less interesting storylines with, heterosexual couples, where they just want to show someone banging, so they make them bang, and it doesn't really amount to anything, and it doesn't really mean anything, and it's just because TV shows like to show a sex scene, so what's the big deal if it's a heterosexual couple or a gay couple? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm straight, I didn't get anything from watching that, but let's be real, when I see sex scenes in normal TV shows, I don't get anything from it either. Like, I felt equally as awkward watching this scene as I did watching any other sex scene that has ever been shown on TV for me. It's just like a time and a place. Like, sure, we all look up porn, right? Like, I'm not denying that, but it's different when you're, like, going and actively being like, okay, I'm gonna go look up porn right now. It's something you're actively choosing rather than a TV show just showing you some softcore shit, you know, and being like, yeah, did you enjoy that? And it's like, not really, you know. I was more worried of someone like walking in on me watching these two people banging, and not this one here, but even just, you know, we were all kids at one time watching a show where there was a sex scene, and you're like, oh, my mom doesn't walk in while I'm watching this guy and this girl bang, you know. What is she gonna think? You know, so anyway, my point is that I absolutely loved this episode. I love Bill and Frank. It was very cool. I was very weary of Frank in the beginning, mainly because of the way... Hold on, I do want to go back, though. Can I find... Because we had a bunch of this. It was before this. They were walking through, like, houses, right? Maybe. Maybe it was after the Cumberland Farms scene. Is it here? Man, it's gonna be hard with such a long episode. Oh, they talk about the plane. This is the plane. They talk about the zombie stuff. We get the flashback to everything starting. Maybe we did cut back to them a little bit? This is where Bill met Frank. Huh. Where was it that they talked about Bill and Frank? Ellie and Joel talked about it. It was definitely earlier in the episode. Damn. It wasn't before the Cumberland Farms, was it? Damn it. I'm sorry, guys. They find, like, the bodies of the people. I do want to talk about that and stuff, too. We get the flashback, and then we're into the Bill stuff, so maybe it's... Oh, Bill and Frank is. Okay. So he said Frank is. That's the one that he said. Okay, I found it. Thank God. Okay. Yeah, so are Bill and Frank nice? And he said Frank is. So he... You know, obviously, I guess Bill held a gun to him the last time he was... Or one of the times that he was there. And was very standoffish to other people. I guess I can understand why Joel would be like, oh, Frank's nice, you know? Because Frank was very, like, welcoming and like, oh, we're friends and everything. But, okay. I apologize. There was something about that. I don't know why. It just, like, it went right over my head when they talked about it. And I think I didn't really expect Bill and Frank to become such big characters so quickly in the show, where I was like, oh, this episode, suddenly it's like, holy shit, we know everything about them. We see their life from apocalypse start to, you know, to the end of their lives and everything. And then it's like, all of a sudden, I'm like, oh shit, now I really want to know which one Joel thought was nice, you know? But yeah. As for the... Like, once again, I love the dichotomy of Ellie not knowing all of these things. I think it's really cool and refreshing, and it gives, you know, it's kind of like, in a way, it's kind of like reactions, right? Where I enjoy going and watching other people's reactions because sometimes they have a takeaway from the show that I never really thought of, or they have a perspective on the show that I never really thought of. And seeing them get excited about those perspectives and stuff like that is really cool. And that's kind of like what Ellie is. She's like someone who hasn't experienced a lot of these things, riding around with someone who has, and he's getting to see her get all excited about like cars and planes and, you know, Mortal Kombat little, you know, arcade machines and everything. And it's just like a really neat thing because there's so many things in this life that we take for granted that are just everyday things that if it was in a post-apocalypse where you were born after the apocalypse started, you never got to experience those. Because even Joel is just like, planes, yeah, they were a thing. But to her, it's like, holy shit, you got to fly in the sky? That's nuts, you know? it's just so many of those little things that we as people take for granted. But so I love that. I love that little dichotomy. I hope it does continue throughout the show. I hope she just doesn't become like numb to seeing all of these things. I hope she's always discovering new things. I think that's really cool. But we had Joel talking about what people think is the cause of everything, like the outbreak started, and they mentioned that it got in the food supply when you consumed enough of, whether it was in the flour or the grain or whatever it was in. When you consumed enough of it, you became infected. That's why, everyone roughly got infected around the same time, because that was like it was like people consumed enough for it then to push it over the top, right? And I think it all stems back to Abu Ratna, where they talked about the ground zero being at like a grain factory or something like that, right? Or like a grain mill. I believe it was something along those lines, or a flour mill or something like that, which that might be the ground zero, how it got into the food supply and everything. But my question is, if it got into the food supply, is it just a natural thing that happened? Like, like, how did it get into the food supply with no one noticing, right? Or was it planned, right? Could there be, like, a big twist in the end that it was planned? I don't know. Or was it just an accident? This fungus just grew, and, like, no one really noticed it was growing in the crops or something. Just, like, it could just be little spores, and once you consume enough of those little spores, it can grow and expand. But yeah, it's an interesting theory. It'd be crazy if somehow Abu Ratna was still alive, but I mean, she was, no offense to her, but she was on the older side before the 20-year time skip, so she'd be pretty old at this point. But doesn't mean that she can't be alive. Like, obviously we saw Bill and Frank. Frank had cancer. I assume it's cancer. He said it was something that couldn't be cured before the apocalypse. So, but either way, but Bill was still up and at him and moving around even after that gunshot wound that I imagine didn't get, healed as well as it could have if they, had doctors and everything. So, but yeah. Also talking about the QZ zone evacuating small towns, and then saying that, you'll be accepted into the QZ zone as long as there's room, and then there wasn't room, so all the leftovers were just killed. And that's so fucked up. And like Ellie said, why not just let them live? But it's like, that's more infected on your hands if you do let them live. I understand that logic, but it's so fucked up. Like, I couldn't do it. I really couldn't. Even if it was to, like, if you're justifying it to try to save humanity, I don't think I could do it. It's too fucked up. But, like, at least give them a chance and say, like, go out there and survive. Maybe they could have been, like, a Bill and Frank, and they could have found themselves a little place and survived. Who knows? But no. Oh, man. The damn QZ zones. We also learned that there was a Baltimore QZ zone, but apparently it's gone. It was gone pretty quickly, right? Because I think that was Frank that said that, right? Which means that was, they met like 4 years after, right? I think there was like a 4-year gap that he was alone before Frank showed up, and then it continued on from there. So, but goddamn, just a fantastic episode. It really was. I love the actor too choice for Bill. I didn't recognize the other actor for Frank, but I believe I did think of the name Ron Parks and Wreck. Yeah, Ron Swanson. That's it. Yep, of course. Now that I hear it, Nick Offerman is the name. The funny thing is I actually knew that name too. Like, I recognize the name now that I heard it. Both Ron Swanson, I should have known the Swanson part. I don't know how I forgot it. And Nick Offerman. And I love that he played this survivalist in this world. Also, I want to talk about a little bit because at one point when they were drinking the wine that killed them, I was thinking, in a way, I'm kind of glad that Bill didn't end up actually like killing himself too, because I had the thought of like, oh, is he gonna try to kill himself too? But he's a survivalist, so I was like, it makes sense for his character not to kill himself because he's a survivalist. He's someone who was meant to survive. But after watching the scene and hearing him talk and everything, I think it's even more beautiful that his relationship with Frank was able to change him from this loner survivalist into someone who loves so deeply that he does not want to be without this person, and changed him essentially from being a survivalist to, you know, someone who cares about someone else so much so that he can take his own life for that person, to be with that person in the end, you know. And I think there is something very, very beautiful about that. And I thought I might have been upset after my thought of like, oh, he's a survivalist, it makes sense. And then he did it, and my first reaction was like, oh, like I literally just thought that it'd be cool if he didn't do it, and then it happened. But then it happened, and I thought about it more as the episode was going, and I was like, okay, I actually like this. So it's very cool. Because, you know, all it takes is one person to change someone into something completely different, right? So props to the show for challenging our expectations and showing us this lovely story about these two characters. I really want to see what that's like in the game, if there's that much detail, or what like the differences are. But anyway, very cool. I loved it. Such a good episode. It really was. I think it's my favorite episode of Last of Us yet, and we didn't even have all that much of Joel and Ellie, you know? So I really, with this kind of show, like, I thought it was going to be more focused on, like, the zombies and Joel and all that, but if this is the direction the show is taking, it makes me really excited for the coming episodes of, like, what more could we see, because, you know, if we do manage to catch up with his brother and he's still alive, we still have to learn a lot about what his brother is like as well after all of these changes, because, you know, he did seem like a little bit of like a troublemaker, getting in fights at bars, getting arrested and everything, and then he ended up, you know, being in this world after the apocalypse and becoming a member of the Fireflies, or at least he said he used to be a member of the Fireflies. So, like, is he still kind of messed up, or has he found, like, you know, peace and change after the apocalypse from, like, how he used to be? I don't know. I'm really interested to find out. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of backstory to be had on more characters in the future. So very neat. That's going to be it for me, though, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more from me. Link is in the description below, or it should be popping up on the screen. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.